We are back. We're back for another episode. And you know why we're here. We're here to learn, have fun, laugh, and most importantly, we're here to drink. I'm Aaron, this is Jay, and this is Quality Drinking.
What we got, Aaron?
We got Cole. Some people call him a future legend.
Yeah.
Some people call him a hustler. Some people call him a motivator on the track. He's just a legend. We're just honored to have him here. You know, he putting the pressure on the music game right now, and make some noise for goddamn 4 a.m.
Let's go, man. Go in the house. Man. It wasn't hard getting him. You know what I'm saying? He a cool, no, real good dude, man.
Yeah, I be chilling, bro.
Yeah,
I be out the way.
Yeah.
Right.
For real.
Shit, but let me let y'all know the rules, man. Y'all should already know the rules at home. You're doing 5 rounds. Each round 7 minutes. This round, in this game, this episode, we're not gonna spin. And this a guy who don't drink. Well, we about to convince him to drink, but this is just one we're gonna do out of every season that we're not gonna drink. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta be our guy to really do this. So this that one out of season 1. But this one is just gonna be more of a talk, that clock talk. Like Callie said, that clock talk. With this one, we got the BEL AIRE. We're just gonna talk that with him. You know what I'm saying? And we here. Let's get it poppin', man.
Let's go.
Get it pull up, man. So first time, you gonna get it.
You're gonna get it. I mean,
He gonna get it.
that's some wild shit too.
Yeah, man.
Up to the top.
Shit.
Let me know when you want some, man.
Wait.
Come on now.
Get into it.
Come on. We ain't convinced them.
Alright.
Bad influences.
Come on.
Alright, guys. So we here, fool. What made you get into music? What made you get into this shit? You know what I'm saying? As a young man.
Shit. Well, really, I grew up in church and shit, so goddamn, I was playing the drums and shit for my sister. Really, she was like the singer and shit like that. Like, I always knew how to do a little something, but my mama was on some Joe Jackson shit. Like, every time she fuck up on the note, she getting the ass. And I'm like, bro, I ain't going through this shit. Like, hell nah. I'm like, bro, I stay my ass on these drums. God, like, them niggas ain't even find out I can sing, like, for real. Like, till I was probably like 13. Like, I hid that shit, like, all the way up. Like, like, fuck that. But, like, that shit really been in me, though. I was born around this shit, for real. I got a whole bunch of family members that can sing and, in church or whatever and shit like that. So, really just, that shit just been in me since I was young.
So that church definitely, that whole energy, grandma, moms, that whole energy just influenced you.
Yeah, my dad played the organ, my mama sang, my sister sang, my aunties, like, everybody down there sing.
Everybody a musician.
Right.
He
was playing client type
Come
shit.
on.
Yeah. What's the biggest challenge that you had with music, and now that you gotta overcome it?
I'd probably say getting people like to believe in you type shit, like to see your vision, see what you see type shit. Like that shit hard, like getting them motherfucker like and put them in your shoes and like, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause like folks be so caught on to what the hell they got going on, like niggas don't really be giving a fuck like what you got going on type shit till that shit start moving on its own. You feel me? That shit really like painting a picture on some shit, like niggas see you, you know what I'm saying, start out with a blank canvas, you feel me? You got a little broken up big brushes and shit, like put on that motherfucker and goddamn, they ain't gonna really come till they really start noticing what the hell it is, like look at it, you feel me? Like it's like you just put it like that on some shit, like just get motherfuckers to believe in, like, you know what I'm saying, what I had going and shit. But I overcame that shit when I moved out here, probably like, I think I moved out here like 4-5 years ago. And Ray, my manager, whatever, I moved in with them, like that's family, like my cousin. You feel me? So I moved in with him and like I basically just got him to like, you know what I'm saying, see what I had going on and like he believed in, my music and shit like that. Like he seen that he felt like I had potential and shit. So he was like, shit, we're just gonna keep working at that shit and just keep that shit going. Goddamn, now we here.
So what was the first moment you felt like, you know what, I can do this? This is what I'm pursuing.
I'd probably say when I was like 19, like after I graduated and shit, I was like 19, and like me and my dad had got into it or whatever. You feel me? So I ended up, leaving / got kicked out or whatever. So I was like damn near homeless for real, like bouncing back from this nigga career to other career, like just bouncing all around and shit. Then like I'm like, fuck, I got kicked out my pot in them crib. You know, I catch the vibe and shit. Like, they're like, damn, like, we live here now? Like,
right,
you feel? Because I've been there for like 3-4 days. Like, you gonna pay some rent or something. Like, I'm like, I catch the vibe. So I'm like, yeah, so I'm like, shit, yeah, like, so she ended up later kicking me out or whatever, like my partner mama or whatever. So I got down, I was on the street for like 2 days type shit. Yeah. So I got down, I felt like at that moment, like, fuck, like, I gotta do something, like, I can't go out like that. Like, nigga, I just graduated. Like, I ain't even picture myself in this position. Like, you know what I'm saying? Months ago, like 2-3 months ago, at that like type shit. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta do something. So I got down taking music like super serious. And I'm like, fuck, I'm just about to just go full throttle with that shit and like just do what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Get my name out there and shit. Yeah. So shit, that's really what made me like really take that shit serious. Like, it was like more of I had to do it. Like, cause that's really all I had. I ain't really good at shit else. That, you know, I'm sucking basketball, like, all that other shit. Like, I don't do all that shit. Like, I just do music, so shit. Yeah. So that's really what it was.
So dealing with that, everything you dealt with, all the adversity, that's where I know there's a lot of your pain come from in the music. You can feel that, you know, you put your heart in it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
I only rap about what I, you know, what I know. I can only rap what I know.
What
like,
you know. Right.
Yeah, I can't really
get in the studio gangster.
Hell nah, man. There's a lot of them. A lot of them. That's why I just got down, stick to. If you ever hear me do time out something, you know what I'm saying, get something that I ain't gonna, and I say that shit in my music, like, I got niggas that do that, I don't do that.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like that is what it is. I really try not to promote all that shit though, like, in my music. I just try to, you know, just give motherfuckers a story, like, what I've been through.
Right.
Cause that shit always gonna be relatable. It's gonna be another 1,000 motherfuckers that been through damn the same shit you've been through. So that's what make that shit, like, make motherfuckers gravitate to your shit.
So I know you mentioned Ray. You moved in, he took you in.
Yeah.
So that's what pushed you harder? Was it Ray, or was it just more of you wanting to really go and be a go-getter with it?
I mean, he helped for sure. Like, you know, keep me, you know, kept me going and shit like that. Like, just, he was like my support, basically, like, type shit. Like, so he definitely played a big role in, you know what I'm saying, where I'm at right now, for sure. But I already had it in my head, like, nigga, this is what I'm doing. Like, I don't give a fuck who, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't believe in it, like, cause you got there's family members and shit that really didn't believe in that shit. Like, but now it's like they see that shit moving, and and they see that shit like going good or whatever, and it's like, you know, that shit obviously changed, but you know how that shit go. I don't be holding grudges of, fuck yeah, y'all niggas ain't believe. I ain't that type of nigga. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? We human at the end of the day.
Was the friends? Was it hard for them when you say you was making the move to down here and to the end? And some of them, do you still keep in contact with some of them? Kind of was like, fuck it, you just came out and just did the first new start. You know, were they supportive of the music when you came down here? Like, I'm still going to decide, let's keep in contact. Oh man, it's a new chapter. I'm done with that chapter.
It was you know, it's a few, probably like 4, 5 solid people that I still, you know what I'm saying, I rock with and talk to, like, on a normal basis or whatever. It was a couple, but like for the most part, like, you know what I'm saying? But they did make people that I went to school with or whatever. You feel me? Like, now they, you know, watch me on Instagram and shit like that. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, they kind of look at me different. Like, damn, like, this nigga done moved and like turned up, like, type shit. Like, you know how that shit go to.
Right.
Like a little school shit. Nothing serious.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's that time for us to pour up. So, what's the next question as we pour our little?
Who is for you?
Come on.
Who is for you?
Come on.
Because a lot of people don't really know their identity.
Right.
And you know this, especially in the music shit. By the way, how you like that? How you like that?
That shit straight. It tastes like, it reminds me of a grapefruit.
Yeah, that's the closest you'll get to.
And I figured, since you don't drink, by the way, I figured, you know,
this is the best one.
Yeah, instead of some hard liquor, that's baby step.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Baby step, man.
Baby step.
Take it slow.
Cause you gonna like this.
He might come back and wilding next time. I want brown. I want this.
He might be the one. Who is
shit?
Who is for?
Come on, shit.
And what inspired?
Man, that's a good question. That ain't gonna be cat. Like, ain't nobody even asking no shit like that.
Right.
That's why you quality questions, quality everything.
That's fine. Y'all get me thinking shit on this. I'm like, damn, like, but shit. I mean, for them, like, I feel like I'm really like, you know what I'm saying? My family called me TJ. You feel me? So I feel like we really the same on some shit. Like, you feel me? You can say it's two different people, but like I'm learning. Like, I'm really still learning. Like, on being 4 AM type shit. Like
Right.
it's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's a character, but it is something like a ego that you develop like as you grow as an artist. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you know, how to like, you know, put this certain mood on type shit. But like I try not to really even fall into all
Right.
Like I'm still like TJ. Like, you feel me?
Right.
So
Cause it's like,
it's really the same on some shit. Like
you see your fans, and it's like you get so caught up in the hoopla.
Yeah, I'm
And
for you.
And the phone,
And I,
it's like,
I ain't gonna even care. I really like, I go out, like, I go to the mall, like, and I'll be in that motherfucker regular shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, looking at pants or something. Like, I probably ain't even buy that shit. You
Right.
feel? I'm just looking or whatever. Like, you feel me? Though, like, I had seen, like, a group of little teenagers or whatever. Like, they was constantly, like, walking back and forth and, like, staring at me and shit. I'm like, fuck. Like, I don't forget in my head, like, I do music. Like,
Right.
I just feel like I'm in New Orleans. Like, I don't like that shit. Like, niggas staring at nigga and shit. Like,
Right.
fuck. So like they walking back for it, like, hey, excuse me, like you 4 AM? Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm tripping, like snap back, like.
Right.
So it's like you gotta like, you feel me? Yeah, embrace that shit. Like,
Right.
I ain't really used to like getting a lot of attention for real, for real. Like I've always been like a little laid back, chill nigga type
Right.
shit, like just cool and like, you feel me?
Right.
Just staying out the way type shit. So like I'm really still like adjusting to like, you know what I'm saying, being like quote unquote popular or whatever,
Right.
type shit. Like I'm still adjusting to that shit.
And that's good. The bigger you grow, for you to still remain humble and say, at the end of the day, I'm TJ first. You know, I'm still a normal guy.
Yeah.
A lot of people let
Normal as hell.
right, that success take them away from
Right.
their name and become
Right.
that stage name.
And become like a whole different nigga, like
Right,
everything. I'm like that shit weird to me. Like
yeah,
I just
Right.
be chilling, bro. I don't be focused on that shit. I be real deal chilling.
let's talk about what was the biggest failure so far in a career right now, in 4 young career.
Yeah,
Or even if you hit it, 'cause you might have didn't even hit your
Right.
failure, but you know it's gonna come because it happened to everybody.
yeah, because you know what I'm saying. Once you
It's gonna
get
happen.
all the way to the top, you can't do nothing but fall.
You
Like,
can't do
you
nothing
at the top, like
Right, where you gonna
you
go?
can't. Yeah,
Right.
it's like where there you gonna go. Like you
Right.
looking over everybody and shit. Like you can't do nothing but fall. You mean knock on wood, you don't want to fall, but
Right.
like shit happen. Like shit happen to everybody for real. But I don't think I really had my failure for real.
That's a humble. Let's drink to that.
Yeah,
that's a
come on,
humbly.
man.
That's
Come
a
on.
humbly.
Come on.
A humbly answer right there. So he ain't failed.
So, outside of music, is it something else you wanna touch on? Can you see yourself being in movies, a TV show?
I ain't gonna lie, I do kind of want to do that shit. I ain't gonna lie. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I probably have to go to acting school or get an acting coach or some shit.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Like
it's
to be
it's
honest.
happening.
Yeah.
You look at the
I mean,
Will
fuck, I
Smiths
do
and
that
LL
shit.
Cool J and
I
stuff.
don't even care. I do that shit. Because I just like movies, period. So, like,
Right.
I do that shit.
Yeah.
For sure. Shows, all that.
Right. So, touching into your creative side, when you're shooting videos, do you have a key part in understanding and pointing out how you want your video shot? Or you just let your director deal with everything?
Usually, I just, like, toss little ideas back and forth from, like, with me and my manager.
Right.
Ray the Barber or whatever. I just toss little shit with him. But for the most part, like, he kind of, like, deal with all that shit. I don't really, like, be tripping on that shit for real. Like,
Right.
I just, like, you know, on some, like, all right, he'll show me something and I'll agree with it or I don't. Like,
Right.
it's like one of them type things. I don't really, like, be too focused on that shit. As
Right.
long as it ain't no bullshit. Like,
Right.
But I ain't tripping.
And that's the same process every time. You know.
Hell yeah. I'm just the artist.
Just
Right.
It's
It's
your
sure.
artist, and you do what you do.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Blackout Vibes.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Let's talk about that
Come on.
project in 2018. What inspired that? What was the motivation and the whole outlook behind that? And said, what's the goal with Blackout Vibes?
Right.
With this project? What was the message for that?
I would say the goal was goddamn really just trying to. That was at the point I was like, man, hopefully this shit like get my name out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my first little EP or whatever. Like I hopefully that shit do good numbers, and it did good numbers.
Yeah.
Like that shit did good. Like that was like the take that kind of gave me my little first buzz for real.
Yeah,
for
that was
real.
the
Right.
real.
Yeah, like that shit like gave me my first little buzz on some shit. Like 'cause right before that was, you know, y'all know he in greatness and all that.
Right,
He was
right.
fucking with me like heavy, like super tough. Like, and that nigga got down. He was like one of the first like own artists, like, you know, major artists in my eyes, like to believe in like what I had going on. Like, he was paying for my studio sessions and some more shit. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
So
I
he
was-
reached out to you, or how did
I had met him at the barbershop.
Uh-huh.
You know, the old barbershop, Distant Image and shit.
Right.
I had met him at that shit. But goddamn, I was sitting outside on the bench, you know, the little bench in front of the thing, whatever.
Right.
I was actually writing. I was listening to beats and writing and shit. That was around the time like really ain't nobody know who I was for real. Matter of fact, I don't even think I was going by 4 AM at the time. I was going by like Little Memphis or some shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like I had like a whole nother name, like that shit crazy. So that nigga Ray had taken me, he was like, hey, Greatness in here, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm chop it up with him and shit. I'm like, nigga, you lying. Like, y'all be playing and shit, like,
Right.
that nigga be playing too much. So I get back to writing and shit, I'm like, I ain't look going in there, like, man, tripping.
Right.
So Chris come outside, and like, he had tapped me on the shoulder, he was like, hey, like, Greatness wanna have that. I'm like, damn, he really in there. So I'm like, fuck. I put my headphones in my pocket or whatever, walking up, dap him up, and then Ray was playing my shit, like, I ain't even know my shit was in there playing or whatever. So he like, yeah, this you? I'm like, yeah. Like, he was like, bro, this shit hard. Like,
Right.
Like, well, you got something for sure. Like, he was like, take my number down. Like, got his number and shit.
That's fire.
Right.
Yeah, that shit was hard. It was a real crazy experience.
He was a
For
real
sure,
man.
for sure.
Right. You was arrested.
Fact that
Cause like a
rest in
real
peace,
nigga, like, yeah, rest in peace.
Rest
That
in
was a
peace
real
to
nigga
that.
for sure.
Yeah,
Rest in
moment of
peace.
silence, moment of silence. Alright.
Rest in peace. So staying on Young Greatness, how did it feel for an artist like him to believe in your vision and not be there to be in the video?
That shit was crazy. I'm like, damn, like that shit really ain't even feel real. Like when I first found that shit out, like I had woke up like early as hell. Like I think it was probably like 7 in the morning type shit, 7:30
Right.
type shit. I woke up, go to Instagram. I had seen a picture of Greatness or whatever, but like it wasn't him that posted. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Right.
So I go to the caption. You know, you gotta read the
Gotta read
caption.
the caption,
You
right.
feel me? That's very important nowadays.
Right.
You feel you don't just want to scroll by and like, nah, you gotta read the caption. Like
Right.
he ain't even post this shit. Like, so I read the caption. It's like, damn, like going too soon. Like with the hearts and shit. I'm like, damn, like what the fuck? Like we were supposed to do a whole bunch of shit. Like bro was about to go on tour and all kind of shit. Like some of this shit I can't really speak on, but
Right.
bro like was about to go on tour, all kind of shit. And, like he was about to take me on tour with him.
Damn.
And like I was about to be opening up for like every little show. He was gonna be throwing me a little change or whatever. And you
Right.
feel me? Like that shit was like, you know what I'm saying? In my head was damn, like I was about to like damn, that was gonna be one step closer.
Right.
Taking off, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm back to square one. Like,
Yeah,
but
I
that wasn't
mean,
even,
but-
that
yeah.
wasn't even the first thing like that came to my
came to your
mind.
mind, right.
It's just like fuck, like
You had it. You was there.
yeah, it's like
Right.
like after I really sat down and just like you know just thinking about it, was a whole bunch of shit going through my head. That shit was crazy.
Let me pull up, man. It's about that time. Even though we're not playing,
We're not playing out.
I'm just still pulling. At this point, it didn't make sense to do the 7 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Can we sit and talking? You know what I'm saying? This is that claw talk coming out right now.
Yeah,
It's that special talk.
We do it for special guests.
Yeah,
You was the
yeah.
perfect person. for
Perfect
this.
one. We definitely influenced them. We definitely influenced them.
Right.
He only got a little of that power weed. He been on his BEL AIRE all day. He
We got a lot left in this cup.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna hold him.
We ain't gonna hold him. We ain't gonna hold him. I got a good question for him. What's some of the best resources that help you along the way in this whole process? Besides Rick and people like that, you know, that's the team. But besides that, what other things, stepping stones, really help you, guide you to that next level that you at right now?
I'd probably say goddamn like you know constantly networking and shit like social media, all that shit like real important. Like I wouldn't get too caught up in social media shit, but it's just like that shit like still important nowadays. Like
Right.
that's like everybody go to like we got Instagram like
Yeah.
Right,
feel me,
right.
like
That
you
was hard
talking
for us
to,
to do it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't even like
like-
that shit.
you have to talk, you be talking to A&R or something, or like they go straight to the nigga Instagram or
Right.
Twitter. Right. It's
That's
just
the
like
shit,
that's just how it is nowadays. But like as I said, I was actually born back in the old days. Fuck nigga in the suit.
So
you know what I'm
shit,
saying? Like
Right.
that shit was just probably simpler back
Yeah.
then, but now it's just like, it's like a whole bunch of shit they be looking. It's like it's all about numbers now.
Yeah,
Right.
It's like the other shit. Yeah.
Judge
It's
you
like
without
the
even meeting you.
right.
Right.
The talent don't need like don't even gotta be there for real. Like it don't.
So it's about gimmicks, is what you said.
Nah, I wouldn't even say that. Like it's just like that shit. Like I don't know, bro. Like if you really want to do this music shit, like you gotta have a real passion for that shit, and you gotta be able to, you know what I'm saying, sacrifice a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, not going out all the time. You know, like just certain shit that you know the average
This gotta be your
young
life.
niggas ain't
Right.
doing. Like this gotta be what you doing. Like and this all I do. Like I don't got no job. Like this is my job.
Right.
Like
That's your wife.
that's all I do. Like hell yeah, super committed.
So, for the people that don't know why that's your name, 4 AM, can you tell them how you got the name?
I used to be goddamn in the garage like late at night, like vamping and shit. I don't really be going to sleep like that.
Right.
You feel me? So yeah, I just be up. Like I don't even be knowing why. Like I just be up like until I got down, go to sleep or whatever. But I'm in the garage. That was like in my little heavy little writing days. I don't really write no more because I don't. You know, I'm so used to being in the studio all the time. Like I just punch in, I like all off the head type shit. But like you just punching in every line, so it's like you basically thinking as you know what I'm saying, rapping or whatever. It's basically like I'm writing, but I'm just not putting the shit down.
Right.
So it's the same shit. Like it's just modern day writing, but that's what was back in my heavy writing days and shit. Ray ass came in there on me like it was probably like 3:58 in the morning, like type shit. And he come out of nowhere, like I'm like, yeah, this nigga doing up, like nigga usually be knocked down and shit. Like he come in there, he like, man, what you doing? He was like, hey, you in here singing and shit. And he was like, yeah. I was like, shit, my bad. You know, keep it down, whatever. My fault. But he was like, shit, nah, you good? And he was like, you keep going or whatever. And then he was like, I might start calling you 4 a.m. Like you always up around this time and shit. Like in the back of my head, I'm like, that shit kind of hard. Like, so he walked out of there, and then like probably like 2 weeks after that, I had to end up changing that shit. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm about to change my shit. Cause like that little Memphis shit, that shit was cool, but like I ain't even give myself that name. Like I moved to New Jersey from Memphis. I was telling them like, you know, I'm from Memphis or whatever. Of course they heard it in like my accent and shit. So they like, man, they talk funny. Like we gotta call him Memphis. Like
no, in South, you
around. And that's probably why my music really like you hear my music, you wouldn't even think I'm from Memphis. Like at all, like everybody that hear that shit, they probably think I'm from like Atlanta or like New York, like one of them. Like, but I don't.
Now talk about Memphis, Talk about Memphis. TAY Keith.
Come on.
Fire. I saw the post. You know what I'm saying? I saw it. Yeah. I do my homework on our guests.
Come on. Yeah.
TAY Keith, you know what I'm saying? You played this song from him and I guess a couple of his guys, they heard it. You know what I'm saying? They added you in there. How was that whole experience, you know what I'm saying? Getting good feedback from a good high-end producer in the game right now. How was you able to feel that, keep that humbleness? But what did he tell you? How did you use whatever he told you to, you know, to the game that he gave you to move forward with your music? And, you know, what did you gain from whatever he gave you, the knowledge, or whatever, keep going, whatever motivation?
You know, that was around the time, like, around that Corona shit was, like, super heavy, like, super good. They had us locked down and shit. We was on phase 1, whatever that shit called. We was just in the garage and, like, it was, like, hella niggas going live, like, hella famous motherfuckers, like, every day, and they was just adding niggas because they bored. They ain't got shit to do. So, like, shit, me and Ray was on there, and he was like, nigga, take it. And, like, the whole live was, like, just spamming my name. Like, they like, man, what the fuck this 4 a.m. nigga? They like, get him going. Like, he getting this shit spammed on this bitch. Like, who that is? So they finally add me on that hoe. They're like, yeah, like, you know, play your, you know, songs or whatever. Like, hear that shit. Like, that shit gotta be hard too. Like, we gonna keep running it. Like, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I ain't worried about that shit. Like, you feel me? I'm like, I ain't even tripping. Like, so I play that shit. They like, damn, like, that young nigga hard. Like, what the fuck? But, like, he basically just told me, he kept it real similar. Like, just, you know, keep working, like, keep going. Like, that shit hard. Like, we fucking with your shit. So, and, like, that there alone just, you know, helping nigga keep going for real. Cause, for he, like you said, he is one of the biggest producers in the game right now. Very crazy. That nigga going crazy. And that shit crazy because I've been, like, tapped in with him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember he was trying to rap, like, like a long time ago. Like, I've been knowing who bro was, like, before he got on type shit. Like, you feel he probably ain't remember that shit. Like, we been chopped up in it. Like, I pretty shit, he went to the DM and, like, damn, I done already talked to this nigga. Like, Ben talked to me, like, when I was named Little Memphis type shit. But, like, bro, like, a real humble dude, though. He real cool.
So has Memphis changed over the years? Like, from when you was really young, you know? So has it changed?
I was actually born in New Jersey, but I had moved to Memphis when I was probably around like 2 type shit, and like I stayed there till I was like 9. So like, you know, when I was young and shit, you can't really, I mean, you could tell, but you not really watching shit and surroundings and shit like that. But I could tell back then, like, that shit was bad, like super bad when I was young. But I ended up, that's why my mama wanted to get us the hell out there. Like, fuck that, we going to cross the bridge. Like, so we moved to Arkansas.
Okay.
So we was standing like, that shit like 15, 10 minutes. Like, you know, across the bridge. Yeah, shit like that.
You're
right by each other.
You're really right by Mississippi and all that too.
All that shit.
It's so close.
That shit like right there, like, you feel me? So we go across the bridge. We live in like West Memphis. We done stayed all over Arkansas too. Like, we did a lot of bouncing around and shit. But that shit, like, I don't know. I ain't been back since I was like 16.
Right.
I moved away when I was like 16. I had moved to New Jersey with my pops and shit.
Right.
So shit, that shit it wasn't really that crazy. Back, you know, when I was like 16 and shit, but like it's still like crazy type shit. Like if you get what I'm trying to say, like.
Right.
But shit, Memphis probably done calm down though. A little bit.
Yeah. All right. How you feel that you grown as an artist from Blackout Vibes to Area Folk?
Like in that little time span and to now type shit.
Right.
Area Folk was a good one.
Yeah.
Area Folk has been slept on, I think.
I
think Blackout Vibes was so good.
Right.
That it's
like
just
that coming after that.
More.
And I think
the
Area Folk gonna kind of be
that shit was more some fun shit like.
And that's gonna be your slept on. I think that's gonna age. I think longer to some people.
Right.
I think that's gonna probably get better at least
as it goes.
Yeah, as it goes.
As I keep going.
Yeah, as you keep going,
right.
I think that's gonna be your low key one. You know what I'm saying?
Them bitches, I fuck with everything I do, but it's like at the same time, like, I be trying to get better than all that shit. Like I don't even listen to that shit. Like Blackout Vibes, I don't listen to none of that shit. Like at all. Like I be trying to goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Like get better than my last song. Like whatever I just recorded, like I'm on that wave.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just all on my unreleased shit and just getting that shit together. But y'all they gonna definitely fuck with my unreleased shit. Like the shit that I'm about to put out type shit.
Right.
For sure. I done grown a lot as an artist, I would say.
Yeah.
So what's the one particular song that you, out of the 2 albums you did, that you most proud of? That you said, you know what, this the one that mean the world to me.
Right. I'd probably say, you know the vibes.
Right.
The first one on Blackout Vibes. But like that's like a top song. Like on my little, if I go like to my little numbers and shit, there's like an app for that shit. You can see all that shit. That's like my one of my top played songs besides No Love.
Right. Yeah,
and I ain't even really fuck with No Love like that. Like after I recorded that shit, I ain't even really care for that shit. I'm like, cool, like, you know what I'm saying? Cause it was just different, like, especially for like back then on that little wave type shit. I'm like, this shit kind of different, like. But fuck, everybody like love this shit. Like that's like my number one song. Like,
right.
I'm like they got the most numbers like out of all them other songs. Like,
right.
That shit crazy. But I definitely say you know the vibe.
Where the inspiration came for why? How did that come? You know what I'm saying? Was anything that push that? You know?
Shit. It probably was. Now that I'm trying to say and think about it probably was. Like. I kind of like be rapping off of emotions and shit, like how I've been feeling for the week, or you feel what I'm saying? Like I kind of go off that kind of mood because like, it just feel more genuine, like you feel me? Like instead of just getting in there and acting like I'm mad, like I ain't even mad, like but I'm like I ain't doing that shit. Like however I'm feeling, that's how I'm going there, and that's most likely how I was feeling at the time.
Right.
So that's most likely, you know, what got that shit going.
Yeah.
Now, when you in album mode, do you prefer if you were able to lock in with one producer or have multiple producers, which one would you rather have? Just that one?
When I'm in album mode, I would definitely like to have multiple producers, like instead of just one, cause like one is like, you know, that one producer, like they all give you different kind of vibes.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So even though they can make different kind of vibes, but it's like I still like to go to him, like. But I definitely got some particular ones.
Specifics?
Like, Mouse. That's a young nigga too. He's 16, like nigga hard. Like he done produced a lot of shit like that I'm recording on now, type shit, like all my unreleased shit or whatever. I'll probably say B Jones. Right. He from I think he based out of LA. He make a lot of shit. He make all Alonzo Ball and them shit.
Okay.
Yeah, nigga named B Jones or whatever. So you know they be rapping and shit like on the side or whatever. Even though they hoop and shit like that, but I'd probably say them two like my favorite right now. Yeah. But I definitely like multiple producers and shit. I don't like just sticking to one producer.
Right.
So when you go in, is it a long process for you to record, or like I know you mentioned earlier you kind of really not writing stuff down, but is it a long process like you go in there kind of just lay your tracks over and then you put the ad-libs and like that's it, or it's kind of like it's gonna take a couple of days? Like do you revisit tracks?
Nah.
I know some artists revisit tracks.
Yeah, they got some artists. It's some people that revisit track cause like not even if they don't want to. Sometimes like people that's over you, you know, like a label or whatever. Like sometimes they'll make you revisit a track. Like, hey, I think we need to fix that right there. Like, you know, they start getting picky and shit. Like, Cause once you set that bar of like a good song, like a, you know what I'm saying, a real deal good song, like they want that every time. Like they don't want just
normal stuff.
Yeah, like type shit.
You set the bar.
Right. So once you set that bar, you can keep going to that bar. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like damn to get past it. You feel me? But nah, it's definitely not a long process at all. Like I probably book like 5 hours or whatever. But like I used to, you know, record shit quick because like I already had it rolling shit, so I used to come like prepared.
Okay,
or whatever. So I get like 2 hours and I do 2 songs like every time.
That's not bad.
Right.
But now, you know, I definitely need like 5-6 hours at least, like just to, you know, make sure I'm making good songs. I ain't just trying to get in there and just rushing, you know what I'm saying? Just because it's just
it's gonna show in the product.
It's gonna show. And I feel like that's kind of what happened with Area 4. You feel what I'm saying? So it, like that was like that kind of process.
So that's your least favorite
rushing and favorite, not favorite, but like, you know, I wouldn't say it's my least favorite, but like, I mean, I just looked at it like it was just on some fun shit for real. Like I was just going in there just, feel me?
Putting shit down.
Yeah, just putting shit down like however I felt or whatever. It was like some fun shit. But I wouldn't say my process now is long. I really just get in there, tell my engineer pull the beat up or whatever beat I know I'm about to do. Smoke, you know what I'm saying? Catch the little vibe real quick, make sure everything right. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll put melodies down, because melodies come like this. Like that shit come fast. Like super fast. Like, so the melody ain't nothing to come up with.
So if I wanted to be my ghostwriter, you would do it?
Yeah. I'm already a couple niggas ghostwriter.
Oh, shit, man. Let's drink to that,
We ain't
man.
gonna speak on that, but
Yeah, we ain't gonna
speak on that.
Nah, we ain't gonna speak on that.
Ah.
So, tell me how the whole idea with C and J came about. Did they reach out to you or?
Yeah, say that my partner, very cool as hell. He had FaceTime me one night. I think I had just left the beach or some shit, but he had FaceTime me one night or whatever, and I was like, yeah, bro, we need you to make us an intro or whatever. We about to make our cover channel. Right. Shit. So I'm like, shit, I already bet. Like, ain't nothing. I do that shit or whatever. And like, you know, I ain't charging him or nothing, because it's like you help me, I help you type shit. Like, you know, type shit or whatever. So I did that shit, knocked that shit out probably like the next 2-3 days or whatever, sent it back. And matter of fact, I had got on live with him actually when I was making the song. Like I punched in and like, I appreciate that. I'm like, damn, like nigga really fuck with a YouTube intro, like. But it's like, I guess it's the way a nigga made it, like on some shit or whatever. And he was like, bro, this shit too hard. Like Jay loved it, like everybody loved it. Like I'm like, that's hard, bro. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's how that shit came about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And since we talking about quality, that's good that even though it's a YouTube channel, you still say I'm not half-stepping this. I'm 100
I
with
got
this.
That's what's
up. Because your name on it.
Your name attached. Your brand is attached to it.
Get a whole bunch of views and shit.
Yeah, so
them niggas hit 100K subscribers like in 2 weeks.
Right.
So I'm like, shit, I gotta make sure you know what I'm saying? Make sure I bump this whole type shit. I ain't gonna do no weak shit. Like,
right.
There's too many people watching that shit. I be having my little cousins call me and she saying that. Yeah, I'm like, bro, I hate as hell. Like, them folks stay calling me saying that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they love that shit though.
Who was your favorite growing up? Who was the favorite artist? Whether it was just R&B, rap, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like the reason I kind of make the type of shit I do, cause like I grew up like listening to like a lot of melodic shit like T-Pain, Dream,
right?
Like, you know, shit like that, like Usher,
right?
And as I got, you know, older and older, I just, you know, got into like the little rap shit, and like I feel like that's where that come from, like Waka Flocka.
Right.
And even though he wasn't no lyrics, I just fuck with cuz shit, 'cause he had nigga turned like on some shit, like he wasn't really like no, you know, lyrics and shit, like you know how folks be rapping and shit, like, but like bruh shit was turned though.
Right.
Feel me? So I feel like everybody used to listen to Soulja Boy.
Yeah, he was.
Everybody was that. Cause like, you know, I need to try to play on breast, but like,
yeah, but you know you listen to it.
It's like, you know.
You got hits. You know you was in your room. Cranking that man. Cranking.
That's why I had to lay on my
man. Like, don't even do that.
That shit too funny. They be trying to play on my boy, but like, bro, really like a little goat on some shit. Like, for real.
He paved the way for a lot of
bro, like, really
he'll get the credit.
Yeah.
Right, he kind of slept on.
Yeah. So I, you know what I'm saying? I feel like niggas would go crazy if they wasn't getting that credit. Like everybody trying to play, you would get tired of that shit. Like, so that shit'll make you go on Instagram Live and
Drake.
Yeah, like it just like y'all nigga disrespecting the nigga. Now, like,
that'll get to you. That'll get to you.
It's different on the slick side, right?
That shit, nigga, man.
man.
Cause I know I know I most likely feel some type of way, like if nigga was just constantly playing on me like that. Like when I paid away for this artist, that artist, like that shit, like, man, like that nigga's weird. Like, but that's just the music. That's the industry for you.
That's the industry for you. Yes, sir.
That's the industry.
Where you see yourself at 5 years with this music?
I don't know. I really can't even tell you if I want to. I ain't gonna even
Yeah.
lie, but it's like on some shit. Like I'm wherever God want me to be. You feel me? Like I'm with him.
You giving us a lot of humble and politically correct answers. I know you. I know you a real. I know you.
Yeah, humble.
I know he humble, but shit. I know he can talk that talk. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, we're not gonna put aside the fact that he keeps sipping that cum on the slick side. But I don't drink though.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I don't lie.
Give me that hardcore answer. Don't give me that politically correct answer, man. You know when you see yourself for 5 years, man. 5, 10 years.
I'd probably say goddamn as big as I can be, honestly.
Yeah.
As big as I can be. You know what I'm saying? I've been praying that shit over my life, my whole life for real, just to, it really be simple shit for real. Like, I don't be praying to get this and, you know what I'm saying, get this car, and like, it just be like on some
real stuff.
I pray like that God just bless me enough to where I can bless somebody else. Like, I'd rather be the nigga giving the gifts than receiving. Like,
that's real.
that shit, I'd rather do that shit. Like, I'd rather got down see somebody else smile. That shit to make me more happy than receiving a gift or something. Like, you feel me? Because I ain't really used to receiving buku gifts anyway like that. You feel me? So, shit, ain't nothing to goddamn give a nigga something. I give a nigga my last. For real, for real.
Sir.
They still get you a humble answer. Man.
You seen them?
That still is a humble answer. Not like,
Come on.
you in the sports.
Yeah, I play 2K.
So you like basketball more football?
Yeah.
Who?
I fuck with football now though. Like since I moved out here, cause y'all niggas go crazy for that shit.
Memphis, yeah, Tennessee don't got nothing. They got Titans.
They got the Titans.
But they trash.
Yeah, they don't really.
They trash.
I guess. Yeah, I don't really watch them niggas.
The Saints is serious down here.
Yeah, the Saints. Y'all niggas.
Like you there for Sundays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
You got LSU an hour away on Saturdays. You got NFL here on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? You ready?
Yeah, I fuck with the Saints. I ain't gonna lie.
You got any one of those guys? I see you got AK on the page.
Oh yeah, that's my dog.
That's your dog. Let's talk about them experiences with Alvin Kamara. You know what I'm saying?
He cool as shit. I've been him through greatness.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that nigga went greatest. We was in the studio and shit. That nigga AK and them had pulled up. Y'all know Tunchi, them.
Yeah.
Nigga clothes and shit. Both of them had pulled up, whatever. And like, luckily, I ain't even know who AK was. Like when he came in, I ain't even know who that nigga was. On God. Like, luckily, I ain't know who. I ain't not even no rapper. Like I just thought a regular nigga with dread.
Damn, AK.
No cap. I ain't know who bro was, like, no disrespect.
Yeah,
right. But it's just like, I ain't know who bro was. Like, I'm glad I didn't though, cause like, I felt like, in that stage of my life as an artist, that shit probably made me nervous, like, on some old shit, like. But I ain't know who bro was, so I just kept recording. I'm like, hey, like, I ain't really tripping on that shit. Bro, cool as fuck though, I met him through him. He real chill, real humble, like a real person. I'm supposed to be real people.
Now look, you might. Real people, that's
for real.
You would think they so big, like they normal.
They normal, bro. I'm talking about normal.
Now you might have to give us that attitude. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Ah shit.
I'm just saying. Our stock might go up. You might have to be an early investor if you could get us.
I guess.
If you could get us,
right?
You know, a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? That tunes. You know what I'm saying? We need that. We need that excuse. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
We need that excuse. It's that speed run. It's that speed run. We're here for the speed round. These yes or no questions, alright? Straight to the point. You ready? Got 15 of them for you, right?
For sure.
Let's go. Smoke or drink?
Smoke.
Kobe or Jordan?
Kobe.
Rihanna or Cardi B?
Rihanna.
Watch or chain?
Chain.
Independent or sign?
Independent.
Yes, it goes. New Orleans or Memphis?
Memphis.
Which one?
Cash or credit?
Credit.
Walk or run?
Run.
Plane or boat?
Plane.
Club or strip club?
Strip club.
Online shopping or mall?
Mall.
Gucci or Louis?
Louis.
Jay-Z or Wayne?
Wayne.
Ali or Tyson?
Ali.
Lambo Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Just wrapping it up, man. We done. You know what I'm saying? We wrapping it up.
So,
We got 4M. He was a legend. He was a legend in the boat today.
Come on.
He held his own.
We got him to drink for the first
We got him to drink for the first time
Come on.
ever.
Yes,
Quality
sir.
drinking day in history. We made it happen. We here, man. I'm glad my dude was able to come here. We made it happen for him, man. We drunk for the first time. We signing out, man. Can't wait to get him on. Y'all gonna see this.